I was going to ask you one simple question.
Yes.
Are you getting to the position with this show where people are beginning to kiss the ring? And I'm talking about, to use Rogan, but politicians, aspiring politicians are calling and trying to get on the Joe Rogan show. Are you having to deal with that? And if so, okay. Do you have a policy? You have a policy where, no, we're not doing this, or I'm not doing that, or if I have this one, then I'll have this one.
Are we? It's just, am I interested?
Who do I think is interesting?
Yeah, okay. Who's interesting? Who's like?
Because there's no other way to have a conversation, right?
Yeah,
I don't. You have to. Okay.
And if, like for me, I think it's interesting. We had a couple guys that ran. We had RFK, and then we had Vivek. And I was interested in both of them. And I was
Vivek had withdrawn by the time we had him on, I believe.
Right. We were at least in conversation while he was still going. I think we were the first interview after he withdrew. But I was like, I want to know what it's like. Why would you make the decision to run for president? Like, I want to know what's going on in your head. You don't have to. You have all the money in the world. You have a family. Like, your family's going to go through hell. Why do you think this needs to happen?
What did he say, by the way?
He truly believes that he can make a difference.
He can, by the way. He actually can.
He's fucking unbelievable. I just think he cannot communicate to people that he like tries to dumb it down, and he dumbs it down too much. And then I think we're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, he'd be somebody that like, I also think that there are some extreme things in his beliefs that he's willing to pay the price for. I don't know if Americans are.
Sure.
Like, he was bringing up something, I think, I don't know if it was Jefferson said about like the people deserve a country. No. Democracy ensures the country get the people get a country they deserve.
Yep.
And I'm probably butchering that quote, but by deserve meaning like, if we get rid of a lot of fucked up shit and people's lives are impacted negatively because of that, if we get rid of these government programs that we think are bloated, and they probably are, but people's lives are impacted negatively, he's like, we deserve that. And I don't know if the average American is willing to take that on. Maybe they are.
Sure.
Maybe they're not.
Sure.
But I thought he had a unique way of looking through things, and I thought it was kind of cool. And then RFK, I thought was great. Like, he really impressed me.
Yeah.
And by the way, I feel as though he's going to pull out because he will be the decision maker one way or the other. I feel like he's going to pull it. Do you believe after meeting him that he has the resolve to stay? Because both sides are trying to make deals right now. Right now, these deals are coming in, and they're big ones too.
What do you mean by resolve? What does that mean? Like, to stay in? Like, is it the integrity?
I'll give you an example. We just saw this with Kerry Lake, but the people that are supporting Biden and think that he's going to be harmful, those donors, and so they're already calling and offering RFK a seat on the board, which is no different than Hunter Biden selling a painting for $10 million. It's the exact same thing, but I'm just sharing with you. Does he have the resolve to stay in this to the bitter end, or is he going to jump and exchange for the buyout?
I don't think that you can influence him as easily with money. Like, this guy's a Kennedy. He's been around money his entire life. Money is not impressive to him. Like, it was funny when he was talking about hanging out with Epstein. He was, I was like, how's the jet? And he was like, it was all right. But like, he didn't say it as a joke.
Right.
He objectively judged the jet.
Enough jets.
Yeah. Which to us is like, what? There's more than one? Like, I thought it's just Delta and then private plane. There's a lot of them apparently. So I don't think you can bribe him with money. I think that look, maybe everybody has a price, $1 billion. I don't know, but his price is obviously going to be much higher.
Sure.
And I think he really kind of likes nature. Like, that's his thing a little bit. And maybe that identity is curated by, like, working for these environmental agencies or whatever he's done. But like, so I think it's going to be, what are you going to give him that he really wants?
Yeah. What can you offer him?
When he came and saw you guys, did he have security?
This is a little suspicious.
Are you planning something?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Let's go back to the beginning of this episode. If I was to shoot, I would go.
I can't wait till the car turns. Well, just wondering, I thought that was very low that they didn't give him secret.
Yeah, it is a little.
That was very low. And when I talk about, well, he have the resolve to stay in, it's like, well, he just might, because they've done so many terrible things to him. I mean, from what Nancy Pelosi did to him to the dismissal by Joe Biden to putting his security in harm by not giving him secrets. That alone could piss him off.
But now he has the money.
Sure.
Right? I think the girl that's running with him, I think, is the wife of the founder of Google or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know he had
he's picked a running mate, huh?
Yeah, so she's got deep pockets.
Right.
And like, I don't know if that's strategic, but like, he is good. He's good for security.
They're playing this game, by the way, of who's going to be Trump's running mate. Do you guys want me to ruin this for you?
Yes, please.
Mike Pompeo.
No. So this is what's fascinating. If he chooses Mike Pompeo,
I know nothing about Mike Pompeo.
Mike Pompeo was the what's it called, Secretary of State, right? If I'm
Yes.
not- yeah. If he chooses Mike Pompeo, I think that all of the drain the swamp Republicans, the right wing drain the swamp guys that are like, oh, Trump's going to come here and change everything. If you choose a true establishment politician figure like Mike Pompeo, I think you break the hearts of all the fringe groups. Now, they might not vote for Biden, but I don't know if they'll support Trump. But what I think it does is by choosing Pompeo, I think it brings over neutral Democrats. I think it's basically Trump going, hey guys, I'm not going to shake shit up. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, where I hire all the establishment people to be in my cabinet and in the positions of power. And I do things a little different. I say things a little wild, and maybe other countries aren't as comfortable bombing because they think that I'm a loose cannon, but I'm still going. I'm towing a company.
Sure.
Line. Do you think that's what that is? I mean, Mike Pompeo is as establishment as it gets.
I can tell you this: when Trump had made a statement, they asked him, "Do you know who your VP is going to be?" And he's now playing the game, but he didn't play it at first, which I don't know, and then see who can go out there and work the hardest and get all these things. He didn't do that. He said, "Yeah, I do," and then he kind of corrected himself and said, "Well, 30% I do." I can tell you in that moment when he said 30%, he was referring to Mike Pompeo.
How do you know?
How do you know that?
How do I know? He's the fucking bad guy.
How do I not?
Yeah.
How do I not?
How do
I'm
I know?
sharing something with you guys. I'm sharing some insight.
Oh, wow.
You want him to kiss and
Yes.
tell?
Okay, keep
Yes,
going.
I mean,
keep
no,
going.
that's not like some glamorous that Mike Pompeo. The Dana White would have been a hot spot. I'm sharing. No, it's
We
Mike
just
Pompeo.
wanted confirmation.
I'm just getting in front of it. That just so you know, if you're wondering why Pompeo pulled out of the race when Trump got in, it wasn't just respect and honor. He does very much, but. Yeah, if you wonder why Pompeo's been so quiet, it's not because he's out of the game. He's coming back. I'm letting you know when he made the statement of 30%, he was referring to Mike Pompeo.
I really
that's
thought
what
it
I'm
was going to be
telling.
Nikki Haley, because she kind of pulled back her words of.
Interesting.
No,
She
what-
said
what would you
he
possibly
would be
need her for, though?
irresponsible if.
Yeah.
I mean, to get the other half of the party that was anybody but Trump.
The
Wow.
Republicans fall in line. Though.
Wow.
You just need
Everybody,
Dems.
yeah.
That's what I was thinking about fringe groups.
What about
Fall in
Tulsi
line.
Gabbard?
I like her. I don't like
she's
Nikki
a
Haley.
Democrat.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Tulsi Gabbard a better Indian than Nikki Haley. Ain't that
Comes
crazy?
around.
Yeah.
Not even Indian.
Yeah. Is Nikki Haley not?
Nikki is, but I'm saying Tulsi Gabbard's
Oh.
a better Indian than Nikki
Oh,
Haley.
she's not
She's Hawaiian.
She's
yeah.
Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What do we got here? Who else is there?
Yeah, I just don't know that Nikki would offer a thing. I mean, they got. There was a poll that came out yesterday. 54% of Democrats would rather somebody else other than Biden, but that's just something they say. If that was sincere at all, ask them one follow-up question: Who? When you meet one of those Dems that blows in the wind and makes a statement, who? If they say Gretchen, if they say Gavin,
No, there's nobody else.
Okay, then they do mean it. But they're just saying, they're just words.
What about pulling? There's reason to believe that Biden will be pulled.
Yeah.
What do you think?
He most definitely will not be, and I'm not sure why play that game, but it is a game. I mean, the Democrats are the ones allowing that story to be out there, and it just seems like they're not piling up and putting everything on Biden. They're throwing just enough on Newsom. I feel like the Republicans are falling for it.
Oh, so it's a tactic.
Yes. Oh, yes, very much. They're throwing just enough behind. Well, we can't have that Kamala Harris. Well, that Gretchen, she had Michigan. She stood in a bad job. The Republicans are falling for what they want to do. Like,
What does that do? Sorry, what does that tactic do?
it would just take your focus off of Biden.
one
It
guy.
would just take off your negative campaign and all the negative things that you come out there and say, which is a miss in politics anyway.
Yeah.
Like if you're Team Trump, you should never say Joe Biden's name, which is there's not a politician out there that would agree with me, and I do mean zero. But they should never say Joe's name.
So how do
they
they
should
say
only
it?
tell you what's great about Trump. They
But what
should
about
never talk
Crooked
about
Joe?
what's bad.
What about or what was it? A Crooked Hillary? Like
Yep.
all the sayings
Sleepy
that he,
Joe.
Sleepy
Yeah.
Joe. All the sayings that he curated were like fantastic.
Sure.
And those
No,
sticky.
some of that's fun. I'm just sharing with you. Like it's a really big mistake when they go out there and they've got TV time to put Trump over, and they spend 80% of it talking about Biden. They're doing it from a negative standpoint, which they think builds Trump up. But they say, you guys got this wrong.
You're not talking about Trump himself,
Right.
Like, should Trump himself talk about
Well, he can deal with the issues, but no, not the way that he does. I mean, it's a broad stroke when I say never, but no,
Really?
he should not. No, nobody else does. I mean, use a comedian or something. You're trying to get in front of somebody else. You would never start talking about, well, this guy's also coming to Madison Square Garden and then start putting him down. Like nobody would do that. No actor that ever made it to the top. No singer that made it to the top. Nobody
Feels like
comes out and does that.
It's being debunked a bit. Just even in comedy, Cat Williams went on Shannon Sharp's podcast, trashed so many other comedians.
God, that was fun.
It was fun.
That was fun.
I mean, it was riveting,
Yes.
but it also kind of revived things for Cat.
Yes. Oh, sure did.
And then the entire Democratic ticket in 2020 was we can't have Trump. We
Yep.
can't have Trump. That's all they have,
Yeah.
even now. We just can't have Trump.
So who do you think wins?
Well, you're gonna have a very hard time beating Biden. You're gonna have a very hard time. Yeah, he's a very good politician, and I've never seen anything like it. You know, I was telling you earlier that I was so surprised to see my own colleague Stephen A. wilt so quickly and openly admit I am wilting because of your comments on social media. Like he was the tough guy in the room, and he wilted. I was just surprised.
Yeah.
Joe Biden is the only politician I've seen that will come out and say, I don't believe in this. My convictions are a different way. I'm not going to bring my beliefs and my convictions. Here's what I will vote when it's time to vote, because I know that's what the majority of you want. And he'll even go that way until it's not popular. And then he'll do an interview and he'll say, hey, listen, this is no longer popular. You guys want to see this, and it'll increase my chances to get elected. He will openly say it. And he'll say, and I'm make you a deal. I will. For 50 years, I've done this one thing, but I'm telling you now, I will. And he honors
That's
it.
actually kind of awesome.
He's a very honest
To me, it's not a
guy
bad
about
thing.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, isn't that what you want a democratically elected leader to do? Is to represent the populace?
Well, I will share with you this. I don't think you could give me another example where it's been done. I mean, I started this by saying he's a very good politician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is very interesting.
Obama.
I'll just give you a great example.
Gay marriage.
Oh yeah, Obama.
Obama gay marriage.
Both of them. He and Joe, they were on that together. Absolutely not. And after the second election, we've evolved and they changed their minds. But I'm sharing with, and those things are okay. By the way, I'm not questioning a flip flopper. Like anytime you're confronted with evidence you hadn't previously considered, you're right to change your mind. You don't have to lock in and be stubborn to something you believed 40 years ago. That's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm telling you is Joe Biden, I can't think of another politician, will openly tell you, I don't believe in this. I do not believe in this. But because you are more likely to vote for, I will change. And that hasn't been done. Like, for example, he has been very instrumental in the pro-choice movement. But he is a Catholic and says, I believe it's murder, and I believe you shouldn't do it. And I do believe you will be judged someday. But I, as a politician, will not enforce. And when he had the chance to, he kept his word.
And that's a great
I
thing.
think that's
It's a great thing.
And you're saying people like that, and that's what makes him a good politician.
No, well, I'm just saying it's very unique. I can't think of anybody else that when you vote for a man to be your leader, it's because you like his convictions. He has convinced you, I know a better way. I've led a better life.
Even
I
if
have
you
more
don't
things.
agree
I
with
can
it.
bring this to you. Yeah.
you trust
That's what a
him.
leader is.
But we're also
And
a country like,
I've never seen anybody.
against church and state. And
Sure.
so it's like you don't want his religious beliefs to impose on somebody who doesn't believe in that same religion.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
It is
I like
it's
that.
a unique tactic, I think, is his point. Now, I understand how, to me, it makes me trust him more.
Yeah.
You're being completely open and honest with me. Every other politician lies. And even if you don't seem as convicted as them, I trust you more for giving me that honesty.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it wins. But I think his point is just not good or bad. I've just never seen that done before, and it works. And he didn't think it would work. Because if I don't want to put words in your
That's
mouth, but-
very well.
And
Thank
that
you,
might be
yeah.
to Trump's detriment.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it is one of those it's a very unique thing. Yeah. If you look at border crossings, just by example, whether you agree with it or you don't, but if you look at Biden before the election will come out and say, you've got to have a secure border and you've got to keep it tight and I'm the one to do it. And I mean, just like deny this.
Yeah.
This piece of reality, it won't happen. It's already doing it with inflation, and those are just some of the things the Republicans aren't ready for. Like the Republicans are going to have their jaw drop. Like make no mistake, the plan is already in place. They're going to find a woman roughly 30 days before the election that Trump sexually abused outside of the China Club in 1988, and she didn't tell anybody, and there's no witnesses. But by God, you have to believe her.
Really?
And it's like, well, of course, for sure, this will come out. And it's one of those things, yeah. And the Republicans won't do that. Not only will the Republicans not do it, they won't be ready for it when it happens. They stand there and go, I watched the debate between Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. And Ron DeSantis, who was very ready for debates and a very educated man, was not ready for Gavin Newsom to flat out deny reality, to flat out say, I've never done that, or to flat out take something that he did and then turn to Ron in front of live TV and go, and I can't believe you. And there's really not a way out of that if you're wrong. Go, wait a minute, that's your record. That's not mine. It's like, no, that's not how it works. Nobody's paying attention except you two. There's just a crowd that is judging this moment. And Gavin came out there and ran the state. Gavin will run them all out of pound.
Really?
Nobody can touch Gavin.
Wait, really?
No, there's nobody.
Why?
No current politician can touch him. He is the best politician in the country.
Why?
Well, he was raised from day one. I mean, they had him to be, at 8 years old is when they started training him to be president. And is he the nephew of Nancy Pelosi? He is the nephew of Nancy Pelosi. And I'll just share with you, there's a very likely scenario down the road where it's Gavin Newsom versus Don Jr. in the finals in the general. And
I don't think Don Jr. got it like his dad.
Yeah, well, and maybe not, but I think he does. I think that he's really good. I thought he was the breakthrough star, in fact, of 16. If you remember, in 2004, Barack Obama was the breakthrough star. Nobody even heard of him. He's a first-term senator, and he was the one that was really running and lit it up. And sure enough, took out Hillary and got elected the next 2 terms. But I'm just sharing that I could see Junior and Newsom in the finals, and Junior's current wife used to be married to Newsom.
Yes.
It would be an interesting...
Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting piece of the story.
Oh, wow. You're
for drama. Be very
fun. This WWE shit
It would be fun. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Junior's a shark, though. I think he surprised everybody. I think that the old man wanted Ivanka.
Story?
Yeah, I do. Is it polite? This is Junior's wife we're talking about.
This is very polite. This is self-admitted from her. Okay. I had a bit back in the day about
teleportation.
Trump. Trump grabbing the girl by the pussy. And it's a funny bit. You can go look it up online. I have to redo the bit here, but it was in his defense, obviously, and I noticed once. This is a bit I did a long time ago, and I'm on Instagram. And I notice Kimberly Guilfoyle likes the bit. I get notified, right? And I'm like, oh shit, Kimberly Guilfoyle. Oh my God, that's Trump Jr.'s son. Oh, that's fun. And then it said Kimberly Guilfoyle followed you from that joke. And I was like, wow, what a woman to see the joke defending Trump grabbing women by the pussy and be like, I need to follow this guy.
Yeah.
Sure. I need to see what else this guy's got.
Sure.
She's locked it. She's 100%
respect
committed to the Trump family.
I like that story. I'm glad that you told that story. That had me a little nervous at first.
No.
I get it. All right.
I mean, doesn't she have the dirt on Newsom though?
Yeah, you would sure think. I can't imagine that she would bring that out. And I wouldn't respect it if they did. Like, have you ever been around the guys, and then the guys start showing you like a text message of some girl, and she like sent them a dirty text, and then he's showing it to you. I don't like that guy. That was a private thing that she said. I don't know. It's just one of those things. And if she did bring up the dirt on Newsom, I actually wouldn't want to hear it.
Really?
I mean, I would think that's unsportsmanlike. Yeah. Yeah, that is private. That was in the confines. She would. It's unsportsmanlike, right? That would be a dirty thing to do, and I would be disappointed.
I realized that was funny until you left. Yeah, that's funny.
I mean, it feels like out of bounds.
Yeah.
So you're against like honeypots, like if a hot girl tries to seduce a guy to get secrets.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, I would. Yes, I would think that would be.
Unless it's an intentional ruse. If it's intentional, is it gamesmanship or is it still?
Well, I guess I'll need some time to think about that. They don't do that back in Westland. I don't know. The prettiest girls in the world are in Westland. I don't know about the girls out here, the desperate girls in New York. I don't know.
It happens. Nuclear secrets got taken by a honey.
Sure.
Yeah, it's an Israeli woman, actually.
Yeah. I'm sorry for the insensitivity we might have said with the word gay earlier. I didn't see the fingernails so much. I didn't. That didn't. But it didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, that got to be the best to roast about fingernails. I respect that. I respect that one. That was
you guys have been trying to get rid of me for 20 minutes.
Good.
Can you say wrap it, or what do we do here? How do we?
Chael Sonnen, everybody!
Hey!